so you can be seated.
Step, please.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi, Attorney Scott.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you need a moment?
I do.
So, Doctor, could you tell us what is peritraumatic, sorry, let me start over. Can you tell us what peritraumatic dissociation is and whether it factored into your evaluation in this case?
Yes, that's the kind of thing that you experience when you're going through a very frightening or traumatic set of situation or circumstances or whatever. And it's the sort of thing that you can experience in the sense that you kind of feel that things are unreal or that it's not you. It's like you're watching yourself go through actions and so on. And it's the sort of thing that if you talk about it, it sounds like it could be psychotic, but it's actually more likely to be a recognized aspect of going through a traumatic situation or set of circumstances that many people going through something like that would experience.
And when you say going through something like that, are you talking about when the defendant was strangling her children?
That would be one example because that was very traumatic for her.
And did the defendant show signs of peritraumatic dissociation in the records or in your conversation with her?
She did. She talked about feeling like it wasn't her, like she was watching herself, like she was going through what she called no thinking, no decision making, only responding to the voice and taking action.
And when she said that there was no decision making involved, did you see anything about in the records or in her detailing of what happened that was inconsistent with that claim, that there was no decision making?
Yeah, this is difficult but important to say. That there are just many ongoing decisions that have to be made to accomplish a killing like this in 18 to 20 minutes. For example, why the basement? Who among the children goes first? What do you say to the kids to keep them from panicking? There are other examples, but
Yeah, hold on.
And so what types of decisions, without getting to what she might have said or thought, what are some types of decisions that had to be made to effectuate the strangulation of the children?
well, I tried to give some examples a minute ago, and I don't want to go too.
All right, hold on. Just answer the question, all right? Don't comment on the rulings of the court. Just answer the question, please, okay?
If I could rephrase.
Yeah.
Doctor, the choice of where to strangle the children, does that have to be a choice of where that happens?
Yes.
The decision of how to strangle them, is that a decision that needs to be made?
Yes.
What to use to strangle the children, is that a decision that has to be made?
I'm sorry, I have to object.
No, overruled. I'll allow that.
What to use to strangle the children, is that a decision that has to be made?
Yes, it is.
The order in which to strangle the children, is that a decision that has to be made?
That's another example of the decision, yes. Decisions.
And the way in which to kill herself, were those decisions that had to be made?
Yes, they were.
Now, you said that this peritraumatic dissociation seems like it would be a sign of psychosis, but isn't. Why isn't it?
It's actually something that is much more commonly experienced in that kind of set of circumstances than psychotic symptoms.
And yesterday when you went through the two options that you considered, that this was psychosis with command hallucinations or suicide with altruistic filicide, is your testimony that it's either or it's one or the other?
It's my testimony that those were the two possibilities that seemed to have some evidence. But at the end of talking to her, testing, reviewing all the information, doing the collateral interviews, everything I did as a part of this evaluation, the evidence much more strongly, in my opinion, supported the second explanation, which was the serious suicide attempt accompanied by killing the children out of love.
Now, you interviewed the defendant on 2 days, the first day and the third day, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And were there any differences in her demeanor or her way of answering questions between the first day and the third day?
Yes, I interviewed her and worked with her on testing for 3 days. And during the first and the second day, she was quite attuned to the question. Her recollection was good, even considering that we were more than 3 years away from some of the events in question. She had, I thought, a very good memory for dates and medications and dosages and times and other relevant details. And she continued to be attentive and responsive, good attention concentration, that sort of thing on the second day. On the third day, when we were talking about mental state at the time of the offense and the circumstances of what was going on with the alleged offense, she appeared to me much more cautious and guarded.
And can you give us some examples of that?
She more frequently said, "I don't remember, I don't recall," that sort of thing during the third day than the second or the first. For one example, I asked her about wearing a smartwatch, which she had, carried a phone, carried a smartwatch as well. And one of the things I asked her is what wrist she wore it on. This was on the third day, and she said, "I don't remember."
And did you also ask her about her statement at Brigham and Women's when she woke up and said she was horrified?
I did. Now, that statement was not a statement so much as it was a written. She woke up in having regained consciousness that evening. She was intubated, so she couldn't speak. But they asked her questions, and she wrote down the answer, and they asked her, "How are you feeling, or what's your mood?" And what she said was, what she wrote was horrified.
And when you asked her about that on that third day of interviewing, what was her response?
She said, I don't remember writing that, and I don't remember why I would have been horrified.
And did you also ask her about the statement she made at Brigham and Women's, either verbally or on the writing it down, about how she said that one of the reasons she killed the children was because she thought they would suffer?
Where are you? Are you in my report there?
Referring to the records at Brigham and Women's where she
Well, I
told...
don't object, Your Honor. She's going to leave him with the records.
No, she can refer to where she's looking to direct his attention, if you review those.
You reviewed the Brigham and Women's records, correct?
I did, yes.
And the portion where it says that she told a treatment provider that she had to kill the kids to kill herself because the kids would suffer. Do you recall that statement?
Yes, I do recall that statement.
And when you asked her about it on the third day of interviewing her, did she recall that statement?
Yes, that statement in Brigham and Women's to the attending psychiatrist was made in the context of her thinking about what happened. Well, let me see if I can find it here. Yeah, she was asked about what the voice had said on that afternoon, and her response was, it had said, you have to kill yourself so you can kill the kids. It also said, the kids will suffer without you. And when I asked her about that, whether the voice had said that, she said, no, the voice only said, this is your last chance. You have to kill the kids so you can kill yourself.
So I'm going to move to strike. It's not responding.
No, overruled. I'll